Hello everybody, it's Estelle here. It's just as I started doing this, someone's got their whippersnipper out, so apologies if the sound isn't a very good quality. What I wanted to talk to you today is about our upcoming new moon. So the new moon's occurring where I am in the world at about 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday morning, so you'd need to check where that is, but I'll post it in the group anyway, what time it is for you. We'll be doing our call a little bit earlier than that though. I plan on doing the call in the evening before Monday, so Sunday evening will be the time that I get online to do the call if you want to join into the New Moon Wish Party. But the purpose of this video is just to talk about a little bit about the new moon energies and what's coming up for the new moon. So it's a big one, this one, because we're having a solar eclipse as well. It's an annular solar eclipse, and what that means is there'll be a ring of fire around the moon. So basically what happens, the sun and the moon, you've got the sun, the moon and the earth. So the sun is behind the moon from our perspective, and with an annular solar eclipse, it shows a ring of fire around it just from the sun coming through. Then what that also means is the sun is shining its light on the dark side of the moon and not on our side. So this is a perfect metaphor for shining the light on the unconscious and bringing things forward in time for the full moon, when we do get to see the full glow of the moon. So basically, when we're talking about the new moon and the sun, or the moon and the sun are together in the sky in the same astrological sign. This time it's in Pisces. And the sun represents our ego and our masculine archetype, the yang energy, and our action focus, doing things in the outer world, and also the mind. So with the moon actually represents our inner world, our intuition, the feminine archetype, and the yin energy. So it also represents our emotion. So, and also the thing that the moon represents is the tribal mind, and the things that we repeat in time, in terms of the things that we learn from our ancestors and bringing forth our ancestors' energies as well. So with the new moon, as I said, it's the time where we can bring forth new energies in it and in our intentions. Because the sun is behind the moon, it's actually stirring things up in the unconscious and allowing things to come to our notice. Now, with the moon in Pisces, Pisces is a very, well, I could say floaty sign. It represents the psychic, the dreamer, the healer, and also the fool and the impressionable and the impressionist. So those types of energies with Pisces are going to be very apparent in this new moon. Now, it's a good idea for you to look up where Pisces is in your birth chart. If you don't have your birth chart done, then you need to talk to me, because I can help you with that. And what we do on our new moon calls as well is we often go through, depending on how many people are on the call, we'll go through and find out exactly where the new moon is affecting you personally, which is not something that you can just get online generally. We go into a bit of depth with that. So basically with the new moon in Pisces, it's a time for self-exploration. It's time for digging up things that no longer serve you and getting rid of them, doing watersheds, for example. It's a time where you can actually have a lot of input into your own healing, whether it's emotional healing or physical healing. There is a very magical part of Pisces that allows you to swim in that energy of the healer and the psychic, and get really a lot of power out of energy work at this time as well. So if you're into energy work, this is the time for you to do it and set your intentions for your own self-healing. Okay, so not so good for putting intentions out for other people. One of the other things that Pisces rules is dissolving boundaries. So what we tend to do, I mean, they say that Pisces is the sign of the alcoholic, or the person who can get lost in drugs or get lost in a fantasy world. And the reason that is because it's about dissolving boundaries, and it's dissolving the boundaries of the ego, which isn't always a bad thing, but it does take a very strong focus on being able to keep a check on how far you go with that. So, you know, if you're a bit of a flighty type of person, it's always not always a good idea to go too far into that, because, you know, you do have to have a way to come back, and it's always good to work with a shamanic type of person who can actually guide you through that process. So that's just a tip. Now, the thing with the solar eclipse that's coming up, we have personal transformation, but we also have planetary transformation. So it's also a time to reflect on the past. It's not so much a time on planning on the future. It's looking at the past and finding out how we can learn from what's happened before it and not repeat history, especially if that history is a negative history. So it really is how to create new intentions out of learning from the past and not recreating the old dramas and the old wounds that we can carry forward from our past and from our ancestral memory as well, or our ancestral history. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say about the new moon is that the new moon is actually conjuncting, my battery's going a bit low, the new moon's conjuncting Neptune, and Neptune is actually the ruler of Pisces, so it gives it an absolute double whammy, I suppose, in terms of that energy of dissolution, dissolving, and healing past wounds. So the danger is that if you're not using the energy in the way that it's intended, or the way that the strengths of it, if you're using this energy out of your ego and trying to direct results, then you are leaving yourself open to deception, being fooled, being tricked, and also fooling yourself and thinking that you're coming along and doing certain things, but actually when the phase passes, you're going to have egg on your face, perhaps. So it is definitely a time to strengthen your intuition, to start listening to your intuition and really going down that road of learning how to listen to your intuition, because it's that really little still small voice that often we miss, especially with the mind chatter that most of us have. So meditation obviously is the number one go-to for getting setting your intention to get into your intuition, to be able to hear your intuition, listen to it, and really tune into what's going on there and make the most out of this new moon. So that's my tips for you today. I'd love to hear what you intend for this new moon. I'd love to hear if you're coming along to the new moon wish party. It's going to be a good one. So I'll promise to bring my fairy wand and sprinkle some fairy dust on you when you come. So hope to see you there, and have a good day.